Hi, I'm Larry Karaszewski, and welcome to this very special on location edition of Trailers from Hell. I'm coming to you from the island of Tetiaroa in French Polynesia. This place is also sometimes referred to as Marlon Brando's Island because, indeed, it was once owned by the legendary actor who fell in love with the area while shooting his 1962 version of Mutiny on the Bounty. That film shoot was one of the most legendary of all time, full of on-set battles, directors walking off, script changes every morning, costs escalating until it became one of the most expensive films of its era. Actually, a movie about all the things that happen behind the scenes might be more entertaining than the 3-hour epic that was produced. In Bounty, Brando takes on the role of Fletcher Christian, who mutinies against the cruel Captain Bligh. Brando took the role to heart, becoming a bit of a mutineer himself, fighting against the studio authorities and setting up his own way of doing things. He embraced the Polynesian way of life, disappearing to swim with the locals and marrying his beautiful Tahitian co-star Tarita. Brando had been offered the lead in David Lean's classic film Lawrence of Arabia, but turned it down so he could make Bounty. Asked for a reason, he said, why go dry up in the desert when he could be in this beautiful paradise? It may have been a bad career decision, but it was a perfect life decision for Marlon Brando. I mean, look where I'm standing. This place is glorious. So now let's take a peek at Mutiny on the Bounty. Marlon Brando's version of Mutiny on the Bounty was nominated for 7 Academy Awards and was number 5 at the box office for that year. But whenever you look up the movie, the lead is that the picture is a dud and one of the all-time flops. And indeed, the film lost money. It was so expensive to produce that recouping was nearly impossible. But it's definitely not a dud. It's my favorite version of this sea yarn.
From initial conception to completion, Mutiny on the Bounty has been an unprecedented and exciting adventure in the history of picture making.
Marlon Brando got ripped apart at the time for playing Fletcher Christian as an aristocratic British fop. He was very determined not to recreate the macho man of action approach done by Clark Gable in the 1935 classic. I think Brando's performance is a home run, one of his most entertaining turns. Yes, it's so eccentric, and the accent might throw you off, but it's such a hoot. He's the reason to see this film. Clearly the role meant a lot to Brando. He named his son Christian, and he settled down in Polynesia. He fell in love with the people and the land. He is quoted as saying that here, a man can live the life he's supposed to live. The life of the body, the life of the mind, the life of the heart. There are more laughing faces per linear meter in Tahiti than any place I've ever seen. A simplicity, a spontaneity, a kindness that we Europeans have lost. True happiness. We don't know how to produce that. We can produce anything, but we can't make people happy. Well, Marlon certainly didn't make the producers of this film happy. He fought with the original director Carol Reed so much that Reed left the picture and was replaced by Louis Milestone, who was there just to get the job done.
Trevor Howard is the infamous Captain Bligh, relentless and cruel. The Bounty was his first command, and he intended it to be successful at any price.
Neither Helmer felt they could direct Brando. In all fairness, Brando was coming off of One-Eyed Jacks, the film he fired Stanley Kubrick off of and directed rather brilliantly himself. So he wound up basically directing himself on Mutiny. Sometimes Milestone wouldn't even watch during filming. He'd go off and read the paper joking, "I'll see the movie when it comes out." Despite all this chaos, the movie looks incredible. Gorgeous, ultra 70mm Panavision, and the Oscar-nominated score is lovely.
It is a matter of supernatural indifference to me whether you contaminate the natives or the natives contaminate you. I have but one concern. Our mission. Let any one of you.
Trevor Howard is great too as Captain Bligh. He lacks the star power of Charles Laughton, but that's kind of the point. He's not flashy. He's a dull, mean man, and he resents the easy charm of the Brando character. The fact that Howard felt the same way about Brando himself helps. Howard called Brando absolutely ridiculous and unprofessional, and this statement was to the press before the movie even opened.
In my years of service, I have never met an officer who inflicted punishment upon men with such incredible relish.
You'll not put your foot on me again.
There'll be no more killing aboard this ship, not even Captain Bligh.
If that's an attempt to earn clemency, I spit on it.
You remarkable pig.
If you want to know more about this production, Brian Trenchard Smith does a different commentary on this site. He takes the director's side. I'm Team Brando all the way. This film sort of ended Brando's first wave of movie superstardom. He spent the next 10 years in movie jail, not connecting with ticket buyers. But things all changed with The Godfather, which sent his career to another level completely. The greatest of all time.